Hey, intrepid viewers, and welcome back. Today we are playing Dysfunctional Systems. Management? It just said the name. Gosh dang, I was looking at the camera. You know what the game is. This isn't the title, like every time. My goldfish memory can't keep track for 2 friggin' seconds. This is a visual novel. Working families across Brighton are no doubt issuing a collective sigh of relief today as the legislation for a minimum wage increase of 50 cents passed in a parliament early this morning. This bill comes after public outcry that the majority of Brighton citizens are without enough income, too poor to make ends meet after the recent increase in food prices. The change brings minimum wage for workers working over 40 hours a week to $3.67 an hour, and workers working less to $3.20. Although welcomed by most, there have been stiff opposition towards the bill from foreign investors, primarily those from Gabria. Major Gabrian companies such as Ujco, and Norkley have warned that wage increases would hurt Brighton's economy, arguing that the new rate would force more layoffs as they cannot afford as many employees. President Barnaby, who has been supportive of the legislation since its inception, retorted that well-fed employees are more productive, and reminded Ujco and Norkley representatives that employing a Brighton citizen was still over 16 times less expensive than employing a citizen of their home country. Interesting. Stocks did, however, take a moderate tumble after the approval of the legislation. President Barnaby assured citizens that the drop should only be temporary and that their markets will begin to rise again after the initial shock has subsided. With this minimum wage increase, Barnaby has finally fulfilled the last of the campaign promises made during his 1523 campaign trail. 1523. What the frack does that mean? 1523? Like 500 years in the past? I don't think that's what that means, but I don't know. Whether or not he manages to accomplish his 1523 goals, 1527 goals, I see, remains to be seen. With that, we conclude our hourly business report. Next up, the latest in entertainment news. Without a doubt, I still find it strange. Everything strange. Bizarre. Really, if these worlds were nothing like my own, at least then I could appropriately flip out. But no, they're similar. Too similar. I keep slipping into a feeling of normalcy. Only to have that sensation of strangeness slap me across the face at the first sight of something weird. There's nothing weird, everything's wonderful. There are plenty of weird sights around to do so, too. Like, for instance, those advanced-looking televisions in this decrepit-looking building, which I can only assume is an electronics store. They are the first things I've seen since arriving in this world that actually look somewhat new, fancy even. Up until now, everything has been old, ramshackle, and in various states of disrepair. It makes me feel very nervous. It's just so profoundly disturbing. Will I ever get used to this? I think that I will, some year or decade from now, if my mentor is any indication. Look at him, standing there so aloof as if this were just another day to him, which, yeah, I suppose it is. Well, what do I know? Nothing. Okay, someone named Cyrus is talking now. My mentor is named Cyrus. Who's a good mentor? We got Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is he a good mentor? He's a famous mentor. You could do, Liam Neeson. Yeah, he's a good mentor. Can I even do Liam Neeson? I'm really good at improv. Winter. No, let's make him gruff. Winter. Yes? What do you think? I guess he looks like he wants to be edgy. Look at that friggin' hair. Party in the front, party in the back. Think about what? About what we just saw and heard. Oh. To be honest, I wasn't really thinking anything about it, just completely zoned out. Winter, we've only just started. Please try to focus. Yes, I will. Sorry. Ooh, distance. It's just, well, I'm still finding it a bit hard to wrap my head around the idea of destructive conflict. Well, of course, I was the same when I first started out. There aren't that many examples of conflict at all in our world. Right. Ooh, closer. You might even find it surprising that war is actually a word in our dictionary. Totally. Totally. War's so weird. Yet still, Winter, you'll come to understand conflict very well, don't worry. After all, you'll be doing nothing but dealing with it. Lame. Well, anyway. You read the material in this world, right? It should have been your homework. It was. Then tell me what you think. Perhaps it's time to admit that I didn't spend much of last night reading the material, so much as turning the pages and glancing at them. I'm sensing a trend here. I was tired and honestly found watching the bubbles in my soda significantly more captivating than the words in those files. I think you're on the wrong line of research then there, Winter. The way they merge with each other and crawl up the glass is really incredibly pretty. You're certainly pondering rather hard there, Winter. You must be whipping up a dazzling answer. Look at that face, he's internally facepalming, you can feel it. Brighton is poor? That's a fact, Winter, not a thought. Sorry, what I think is... Nothing. Look, what I've learned so far in class doesn't seem to be particularly applicable to this world, so I'm finding it a bit difficult to care. Ooh, harsh. How can I care anyway? Besides all that, this is also disconnected from me. Yeah, me! It's all about me, see? Plus it's only my second world, for heaven's sake! I'm still flummoxed by the fact that other worlds exist! What am I supposed to think when they just toss me in these places, give me a pat on the back and say, "Be on your way, merry child"? Actually, there's a thought. What kind of name is Brighton? A normal name? I don't know, a vaguely English name? It's a stupid name for a country. Oh, a country, it's a dumb name, you're right. It sounds more like a town. Yeah, the town of Brighton, population 40. Erg, blah! I'll scream blah at Cyrus and any other mentor who questions me like this. Click, click. I mean, I won't, but I would. I completely, totally, and so would. For now, though, an awkward and wobbling smile is all I can muster. I guess it's wobbly, you know. Blah. I don't know how to emote ellipses. Well, whatever. Yeah, take note, kids. If your teacher ever asks you a question, just stare at them blankly and say nothing until they give up. What do you think the next step is? Alright, cool it, Winter. Just remain calm and genuinely consider the question. The next thing to do, we need to learn things that weren't given? Right. Sir, I couldn't ask my last mentor. Why are the dossiers we get before we come to these places so thin? Well, it's because they are simply comprised of first-hand information. Noteworthy things that mediators have gathered through observation and gleaned from prior trips to the world. You're lucky to even have that much. Sometimes you get sent to worlds that have never been visited before. Let me tell you, it's never fun when a surprise dragon flies out from behind a mountain, or when you realize that the person you've been talking to is really just a convincing projection. Or worse, a robot! A stupid, subhuman robot! And once you start going into systems that threaten your definition of what a world even means, good luck. Then again, only experienced mediators have to deal with such things. You won't be going to any unvisited worlds, at least definitely not yet. Oh, another question. Why revisit worlds that have been helped? I mean, once order is in place, everything should be fine, right? Cyrus frowns, but his expression seems more complicated than that. Oh yeah. That's a complex expression, not just a blank slate at all. Got some layers in there, a real Mona Lisa of an expression. Could stare at it for hours. I say that because his frown isn't alone. In his eyes, there's a glint of irritation. Sure. Directed at no one in particular. As any glint, it's gone in a second, replaced by another thing that I can't quite decipher. Ah, the shifty eyes. Part of me is curious as to what it is, but most of me doesn't care. Here's the short answer. Because chaos cannot be contained or removed. Although it can be lessened by us, it will rise again over time. I should take a drink every time she just says an onomatopoeia like that. Is that an onomatopoeia? Yeah, sort of. Sir, are you saying there's no point to anything? Oh, great. Just extrapolate everything I say to them at extreme and don't look at the middle ground at all. No! Chaos is not inherently bad, Winter. It is the means by which all worlds are born and continue, even ours. Furthermore, it is the spark of evolution. It plays a key part in those mutations which allow life to grow and improve itself. However, for life to succeed, there must also be order. It's like, it's like how cells must work together and organs must serve their purpose. You see, a system where chaos is stronger than order is likely to collapse, just as an organism which has succumbed to disease is likely to die. Am I mansplaining? A little bit. In short, we are not here to eradicate chaos, Winter. We are only here to keep it in check. That metaphor was terrible. You try to eradicate disease. Oh. ... Anyway, where do you think we should go next? The ice cream world? Well, someplace with a lot of information, I suppose. Allow me to get to thinking about such a place. Oh, surprise, I'm done. The answer is so obvious, it's insulting. After all, I'd already gone there during my first meditation. Oh, mediation. The library. No, that's... Why would we go to the library? I mean, I get your line of thought. Libraries can tell you a lot about a world's history, and I would be there, and I bet there are computers there too, considering the world we're in. Unfortunately, that kind of knowledge probably wouldn't be so helpful for this job. What about scholarly journals? Reliable sources? I don't get why this game sometimes shows the name of the talking person on top, and sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't show it... Sorry, my nose is really itchy. I was interpreting that to mean that it was an internal monologue, but he's reacting to it, so I don't know. No, I think we should find a bar. Huh? What is it? Oh, well, Jesus, just say words! I just had a thought. Are the bars here special, like library bars? I figured maybe you like to drink as you read, maybe. ... Winter, stop thinking about libraries. Sorry. Bars here should be normal as far as I'm aware. We'll head there because the bars are where people go to talk. Cyrus then turns to walk away, as if it is the next natural thing to do. Well, it is not. I stand incredulously for 3 full seconds before realizing that we are supposed to move ahead. I'm real fracking slow like that. Making it, I find it very hard to empathize with characters who are this dumb, because I'm so smart, obviously, that's why. Well, here we are, walking along. Is this a street? What kind of question is that? Is this a butterfly? Oh my goodness. I've seen a few vehicles pass us by, so I guess it is, or should I say that I've heard them, for they have been loud. But you haven't seen them? They are pretty sorry excuses for transportation, though. They have these grotesque metal protrusions out of their fronts, which billow dark smoke and occasionally drip liquid out of the front. As if that weren't bad enough, most every frame of these things has looked like a bludgeon team went wild on it. What's a bludgeon team? I know what bludgeoning is. I don't know what it... Like I said, I don't even know. Professional bludgeoners, I guess. They were such bewildering things that they distracted me from the matter at hand. Cyrus. Is he not going to elaborate at all? He just walked off after telling me that people talk at bars. Thanks, Cyrus. I would not have guessed that people talk at places. Isn't he supposed to be teaching me? How can I learn anything with such vague statements? Well, Winter, well, you need to go to the ice cream parlor, Winter, because they sell food, Winter, well. Did he say well a lot? I didn't notice. Goodness, how annoying, and hasn't he been annoying since orientation? Pestering me and staring at me. An annoying and unlikable person, this Cyrus. With a reputation at that, I hear. A reputation at that? A reputation of what? I mean, seriously, don't people talk everywhere? You dense mother trucker. So don't people talk everywhere? Isn't it the sort of thing humans are known for in general? Yeah, because libraries are people who talk all the time in libraries. Well, aren't you snippy? Ooh, look at this. Cringing walking forward. Oh yeah, it's like a do the creep. Oh crap, I just ruined everything, didn't I? I need to stop thinking so much or let my thoughts slip out. You're not thinking at all. What do you mean thinking so much? Arg! I shouldn't have said it like that. He's my superior. I bet he'll lower my grade now. Sorry, sir, I didn't mean to be. Finish your sentences! Oh, be snippy, I see. There, that's my bad. Good enough sentence. It's just a bit frustrating when you don't explain yourself properly. Oh, I thought it was mostly self-explanatory. Me too! Not really at all, sir. Well, maybe it is, but I don't really know anything about bars. I've never seen the outside of one. Ah, that's right. We're really not into drinking back home, are we? I don't know if I would say that. Perhaps not everyone is the same. Whose line was that? Well, bars are generally a place where people go to unwind. And the alcohol loosens their lips, so to speak. They'll talk about almost anything. Themselves, their trouble, and often the root of the problem will invoke what is troubling the world's people. It's a useful place to visit. Speaking of problems, what was the issue of the last world you visited? Pollution. The world was kind of oldish and much less practical than ours. They kept throwing out their stuff wrong and had bad ways of making energy. Their water ended up getting poisoned and a lot of them were sick. Long-term project, I assume. Yeah, my mentor had already been working on it for a while before I came. I think it was around 5 months. That's so. Well, I'm assigned short-term projects. It'd be something awful to get stuck with the same problem for nearly a year. I agree, but I don't know about the way you said that. How long did you shadow her? 3 days. I see. You've never had alcohol, have you? Oh, what the frack was that? That looked like sexual harassment. What? No, sir, I would never. I mean, I'm too young. I stop in my tracks as he stops to turn. His lips then curl up in a kind of oh-ho-ho expression, oh-ho-hoing at my innocence, ripe to be defiled. It is creepy. I am uncomfortable. It's a pretty creepy face. Also, how's his shirt staying together? There's no buttons on it. Maybe some magnet strips? I don't know, Velcro? No, you wouldn't do anything against the rules, would you? Is that a test? A trick? A challenge? No, sir, I would not. His smile broadens at this, and my discomfort increases. You know, Winter. Each world you visit will have its own laws, its own customs, and its own social graces. You're going to have to learn to make your mind a little more flexible if you want to succeed. I'm going to have you drink some alcohol at the bar. This is real weird. Excuse me? I don't want to. Besides, I'm underage. It's against the law. Law. Well, Winter, in many cultures, you'll be expected to drink even at your current age. You should be ready for that, and you should know the effects that alcohol has on yourself and others. What? You tell me to break the law? Whoa, no, this is completely out of my comfort zone. I probably hate alcohol even, right? I do not want to do this. I mean, I know we're in another world, but it's not really the law, but... No, this is my conviction. I was born and raised to a set of rules, and I think it would be best to live by them. This is the epitome of lawful stupid. I mean, it's great that she recognizes her comfort zones, and is strong not to surpass them, but sometimes, I mean, I can conceive of comfort zones that are stupid. Like, it's against my comfort zones to talk to my superior. Like, you know, that's a dumb one. Alcohol, that's more of a gray area. Sort of. I mean, if you're against drinking alcohol, you should be against drinking alcohol. But her reason for being against drinking alcohol, I don't think is great right now. There's a lot of good reasons, and she has not supplied one. But then again, who am I to judge, I suppose? It's like what I learned in class. One might think it best to try absorbing all aspects of cultures met. However, it is not advisable. In absorbing a culture, you run the risk of becoming absorbed by that culture as well. Mediators should not forget who they are. I am Winter Harrison. I will not be shaken by this. I don't think I can do that, sir. Winter? ... That's an order. This is part of your training. Okay, this is... He definitely crossed the line there. If you do not drink alcohol at the bar, I will be forced to fail you. Yeah, this is real screwed up. What? That isn't... That's not allowed. You can't make me do anything. I most certainly can. I'm your mentor. Look at that sad face he had. Only for today, you aren't always going to be that. Why'd she say it twice? ... Besides, you can't threaten me because I have my convictions and I won't forget who I am. Tish. I'm right. I can tell I'm right because my cheeks are flushed, my heart is pounding, and he looks wounded. Those are not good metrics for judging your correctness there. Real frackin' subjective. I hurt him. I struck out against him and he knows he's wrong. Oh yeah, you can tell from his... face? It isn't enough that he's hurting inside though. I need to teach him a lesson. I need to knock it into him. Therefore, I'll raise this trembling arm and trembling fist. I will raise it and grit my teeth and I'll punch him right in his pathetic-looking chest. That's how you treat superiors. What is going on? What is this game? What is this story? This is weird. This is like a robot wrote this. Ha! What? ... What the frack are you doing? Winter, what is this?
I'm rebelling against you.
Did you just punch me? I nod my head quickly and with purpose. You did?
What does it look like? My fist smashed into your ribs, didn't it?
Well, smashed is... ... All of a sudden, my hair goes paf, as if something heavy has lightly fallen on it. Look at this condescending, unprofessional, real fracking weird relationship going on here. This is like the epitome of... I don't know. Unprofessionalism is not a strong enough adjective for what I'm trying to convey here. This is just gross. I glance up to find Cyrus resting his hand on my head, although I know what he is doing. In fact, I just said so. What? I am still compelled to ask. What are you doing? Winter, fine. I won't force you to drink. You mean you can't? I mean I won't. I will, however, put forth a stern suggestion. It would be very wise of you to drink. It will help you ease into the taste of another place. I know what they've taught you, and I'd be lying if I said I ignore what I've learned. Just remember the way it's worded. You are allowed to let yourself go a little, just don't forget. I haven't forgotten, and neither have you, it seems. But you shouldn't be afraid of stepping outside of your comfort, outside of yourself, if only for a little while. In a sense, that's what you're doing already in being here. So I urge you, Winter, have a pint.
I'll just a little.
That was easy. Good enough. Well, there's a bar. Come on, Winter. That's a bar? What makes it any different from the other stores? It looks just the same from outside. They don't seem to pride themselves on distinction out here. ... These so many ellipses. That'd be a better game. Rather than taking a drink every time she says or doesn't finish a sentence, just take a drink every time it's an ellipses. You'll die. We'd be dead by now. I run my hand through my hair and grimace. I wonder, look at that, grimace. I wonder if since all the storefronts look like this, maybe they're all bars? What a terrible thought. Is you judgmental freak? What is this, a culture? That's that sentence. Sorry, judgmental freak is just a very hypocritical thing to say, but not necessarily wrong. What if this culture is a culture which loves to drink? Will I be expected to drink a lot? I hope not. Warily, I begin to follow Cyrus. What am I doing? This is so illegal. I wonder if I can report this. Sure. I don't know. Well, let's end the episode here and pick up in the bar later. Oh, he farted in her face. Great time to end it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next part of this bizarre game. This Steam install is only Chapter 1. I don't know if subsequent chapters are separate purchases or not. The rate it's going so far, I may stop after Chapter 1 and not pick it up again. We'll see how the story goes. If there's good choices, there haven't been any yet so far, you know, that would help a lot. Anyway, see you guys in the next episode. Finish your catchphrase.